We are mere hours removed from Texas, handling business in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, in front of a, for the most part, shocked Bryant-Denny Stadium. Final score, Texas 34, Alabama 24. An absolute movie of a scene. We were fortunate enough to be on hand for this one. The atmosphere was electric. The postgame was electric, being on the field and seeing Texas celebrate the way they did. You had SEC chants coming from the Texas faithful that had made the trip to Tuscaloosa. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal. But you can't help but wonder now. Can't help but wonder, how good can Texas be? That's great they beat Alabama. But now your sights kind of look up the hill a little bit. You say, oh, Big 12 title would be nice before we leave this conference. College football playoff berth, hey, I don't see why not. We'll break that down. Really quickly, though, Texas fans, if you have not yet subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel, we would love to have y'all. Met a lot of y'all yesterday. Absolutely phenomenal to be able to put a face and name to some of the people that have been in the comment section. Bottom line, if you haven't yet subscribed, we would love to have you here. College football every single day, live now on this channel, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern is the hard count. Set your calendars. Make sure you're locked in. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JD Piquel. Thank you in advance for that. I'm still calling it Twitter, man. Would love to call it X. I'm going to get there eventually. It's been Twitter for a long time. Like, we're going to eventually get there. Like I was saying, though, man, if you're Texas, you cannot help but look ahead and say, okay, if we can beat Bama, you know what I'm saying? If you can kind of fill in the blank there. If we can beat Bama, who else on this schedule is really trying us like that? You know, like, is there a better roster on the schedule? Not to my knowledge. Oklahoma's got a tough roster, sure, but like, I don't know. We took care of business last year in Red River. I'm a Texas fan. Now I understand Dylan Gabriel wasn't playing in that game, but you kind of get the sentiment. Like, Texas is kind of at that point now where you say, all right, we feel pretty good about where we stand as it pertains to the rest of the Big 12. Now, they have proven that they can play at one of the most elite levels in college football. That's what I saw yesterday. Now, it's only week 2. We don't want to overproject, don't want to overhype and be hyperbolic, but even so, man, what I saw yesterday, I saw a Texas team that can hang with anyone in the country if they're dialed in and playing like they did yesterday. If Quinn Ewers is slinging the ball around for like almost 3.5 bills, and A.D. Mitchell is getting his, Xavier Worthy is just lightning in a bottle, and they're finding ways to go quickly and get the ball to him creatively, like, see what I'm saying? Like, that game plan from Texas yesterday, I think they'd have a lot of success against most teams in the country. So, my question is, who's the tougher matchup? I don't think there's a tougher matchup on the schedule than Alabama for Texas. So that box feels like it's kind of checked if you're a Longhorn fan. Also, you got to look internally, right? Hey, what do we have? What do we have in the kitchen? What do we got stocked up in the cupboard, huh? We have what it takes? I mean, based on what I saw yesterday, I think so. I just talked about Quinn Ewers. We've talked so much about what he could be, and we've seen flashes. He put it all together yesterday in such a real way. And being on the field post-game, seeing the way his teammates embraced him, like, he's the leader of that football team. I mean, it was a Quinn Ewers just love fest afterwards, after he did his post-game interview on the field with Holly Rowe, goes towards the good people that traveled from Austin, Texas, and his teammates, man. It was hugs, it was embraces, it was shouting and hollering. Like, it was obviously a good time, but you could tell that Quinn Ewers was the steady hand. Quinn Ewers was the catalyst for everything that happened yesterday. Now, there was a lot of other pieces to it, obviously, but having a quarterback that's the guy for your football team, I haven't seen a guy with that kind of ability since Colt McCoy at Texas. And seeing that he was the guy, not just the quarterback, I think is paramount to their success. And a big reason why I would be a believer right now if I'm a Texas Longhorn fan and what you got in-house. You got all the weapons you need, man. Like, we've seen what happens when Steve Sarkisian gets weapons. He has got weapons right now. He's got them in spades. Jordan Whittington, Adonai Mitchell, Xavier Worthy. That backfield's pretty stocked with Keelan Robinson, C.J. Baxter. The line's good. Like, there's not a lack of ingredients. And you give Steve Sarkisian ingredients, man, offensively, we have seen now. My man knows how to cook. My man knows how to cook, knows how to drop a game plan and a strategy, and they were aggressive as heck last night. They have that culture right now, it feels like, and this is full circle for Texas fans, so hang with me here. It feels like there's a culture to go and do what you want to do. Now, you have to do it consistently. That's great you did against Bama, but can you do it the rest of the way? We'll talk about that in a second here. But to see it on display against a team that has been the standard for culture in the modern era of college football, against Alabama and Nick Saban, like, that has to be so reassuring for Texas Longhorn fans. Like, hey, we got what it takes now. We know we got it. Can we do it consistently? We'll see, but we got what it takes. We've seen it now. It's not a matter of projecting and hoping, like so much validation yesterday for all the talk around Texas this past offseason. You felt that come to fruition yesterday in Tuscaloosa. The defense too, man. Cannot say enough good things about them yesterday. Got to Jalen Milroe, forced turnovers. They were aggressive. They played well on the back end for the most part. Yeah, was it perfect? No, of course it wasn't perfect. But they found a way to get it done. They were gritty. They ultimately were more than good enough to win that football game last night. So you look at the defensive side of things and say, okay, feel pretty good over there as well. So the ultimate question, like we talked about a second ago, it's no longer a question of can they for Texas. It's not. The question is, will they? Because you can get up for Alabama now. You go on the road, you go into the belly of the beast, and you got to slay the dragon. College game days there. You got probably close to 100,000 in Bryant-Denny Stadium. You don't need anything to get yourself up for that one now. You're already juiced up for that one. What happens when you play Kansas State? There's not as much hype. What happens when you play Oklahoma and you're supposed to dominate that game? I have no idea what the line is at this point in time, but let's just say going into that one, you're in a good position, you think. Can you still handle business how you're supposed to? Can you still keep that main thing the main thing and copy and paste your performance week to week and stay as close to your internal standard as possible? Or do you kind of fall off the rails a little bit? Do you kind of get complacent? Couple turnovers here, missed assignment there, blown gap there, and before you know it, you're going home with an L. Texas doesn't have to live that way. They don't. That is not a situation that Texas needs to find themselves in. And they proved it last night. The question now, how do you respond and carry this going forward? I'm so excited to see it. Now, everyone's going to ask this question. Everyone's going to say this. And I'm telling you, it is the most clickbait thing. So I want to get out in front of it. Is Texas back? Everyone's going to ask that, right? It's a great headline. Fits real nice on a t-shirt. People generate clicks from it. I'm sure it looks good on a thumbnail. Texas last night made a tremendous step towards eventually being back. But the goal for Texas, even going into this season, was never just to beat Alabama. Like, that's not the mountaintop for Quinn Ewers and Steve Sarkisian. They want to go win the Big 12 before they deuce out. And they want to, I would imagine, win a national title, which would require making the college football playoff. So this is a tremendous brick to lay down. But even more so, man, like this brick, this win, is only as meaningful as whatever you stack on top of it. So everyone's saying, is Texas back? Is Texas not back? Like, don't listen to them. It's week 2. It is week 2. This is a tremendous step towards being back for Texas. This is a signature win and a what's up now kind of moment for Steve Sarkisian and Quinn Ewers and company, like 100%. But even so now, this is just the starting line for what they want to accomplish. They are still climbing the mountain. But man, I tell you what, the good people in Burnt Orange last night that made that trip to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, deserved every minute of that experience they got to have when that clock hit triple zeros. And I mean, you could tell it was, I don't want to say it was a relief because it didn't feel so much relieving. It was more so just like the first, like it was like the rain hitting Andy Dufresne after he got out of Shawshank. That was like the moment it felt like, just pure joy and bliss and just like, yes, finally, here we are. Here we are. Now let's go do something. So I can't wait to watch Texas the rest of the year. Very much so made a statement to the entire college football landscape that they are for real. They got the entire runway ahead of them. You beat Bama. I don't know that you have any hurdles on your schedule at this point in time that are going to be more difficult than that. But the key now, consistency, consistency, consistency. Fired up to watch it. Make sure you're subscribed right here. College football every single day. Again, live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Want y'all locked in right here. Listen, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.